Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Riv Readers podcast, hosted by Regina Library at Rivier University. I'm Katie McFarlane, your research and instruction librarian. We hope everyone's having a wonderful summer. This episode, we're interviewing Susan Deschenes, who recently retired as the RISE coordinator at Rivier. Thank you so much for joining me today, Susan. I really appreciate it.
It's wonderful, Katie. I'm so glad to be here.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Riv?
Absolutely. I just retired from serving as the RISE coordinator, and RISE is the Rivier Institute for Senior Education. We're a program that serves people ages 55 and older, and we have classes for seniors, by seniors, on a wide range of topics: exercise, history, literature, hands-on art history, just the gamut. So it's a program that has no homework mostly, although
Nice.
some of the classes people are reading specific titles or they're on a specific topic like foreign policy, where the teacher sends an article every week to kind of spark discussion.
Okay. And do the
Yeah.
classes meet once a week
They
or?
do.
Okay.
And the time slot for a class is 90 minutes.
Oh, nice.
So most of them go that long because there's plenty of interaction between the students and
I'm
the
sure.
facilitators. Some of them are shorter, but most of them actually go 90 minutes.
I'm sure they get some good conversations and
Yes.
discussions. Oh, nice. So how long were you in that role?
I was in that role for 2 years plus a little bit.
Okay. And before that, you were a librarian, right?
I was, yes. I worked in many public libraries. Because I came out of high tech before libraries, I became a technology librarian.
Okay.
But in New Hampshire public libraries, even the bigger ones, there's not generally a role that's simply technology librarian. So I had plenty of experience with reference work and reader's advisory. And then in a couple jobs, I served as an administrator.
Oh, awesome. So with your retirement, do you have any plans? Like, what are you looking most forward to?
Well, one thing I'm looking forward to is spending more time with my husband. He's older than I am, and he has been retired for many years.
Oh, so it's your turn now to catch
It's
up.
my turn, yes. We love to do day trips. We both call ourselves culture vultures.
Ah, I love it.
So we go to a lot of museums and we love concerts of all kinds.
That's
So
great.
that's a lot of fun, and we get in a play every once in a while. I'm also
Wow.
coming back as a RISE member in the fall,
Okay.
and I'll teach Friday afternoons at the movies. I'll continue doing that.
Nice.
I've been doing that for quite a few years.
Hmm.
I'm also beginning to manage a nonfiction readers book club at my
Ooh,
public library in Amherst.
that's
So that's
great.
starting in July because it's really important social outlet and
Yeah.
intellectual outlet for the members of that group. I also hope to train to be a guide at the Courier Museum of Art,
Ooh, that's
but
awesome.
it seems like they only do the training in the spring, so it's going to be a
Okay.
while before
Sure.
I can do that. I also have a really big interest in history.
Hmm.
So there in Peterborough, there's something called the Monadnock Center for History and Culture.
Okay.
So during this year, before I can become a guide at the Courier, I'll probably volunteer there.
Oh, that's
But I'm
great.
I'm gonna take things on slowly because I don't want to
Yeah.
become a gerbil on a wheel in retirement. It just seems silly.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
time to enjoy and smell the roses
Yeah.
and all that.
But still stay involved and active. That's
Oh,
great.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
hmm
Do you have any favorite like day trip spots?
Well, we love
You
to go
like?
to Boston.
Uh-huh.
We love to see all the special exhibits at the Museum of Fine Arts
Oh yeah.
and just in general to take in the ambiance of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I love to go to Montreal. I'd love to get my
Oh
husband up there.
yeah.
There's a lot to see and do, and a lot of festivals in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if I can get my husband there.
He's never been?
He's been, but only on business,
Oh, okay. That's
which is
not the same.
different.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, which is
Montreal's really
different.
fun.
Yeah, and I'll be traveling sometimes with my husband, sometimes on my own with Road
Nice.
Scholar.
Oh, very
Do you
cool.
know about Road Scholar?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Another program that has really cool sounding classes that I'm jealous I
exactly
can't take.
right. It's also a travel program where
Yeah.
there are extremely knowledgeable teachers
Hmm.
who bring you everywhere in a town. We went to Chicago last summer. It was amazing. I can't emphasize how great Road Scholar is for the 55 plus crowd.
It sounds
And
it.
wonderful people. Everyone's brains are so engaged.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh,
Mm.
I'm like, when can I retire? When can I
Yeah,
do
but
these?
enjoy work time too.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing better than being a librarian, in my opinion, because most librarians are just voracious learners.
Hmm.
And when you get a crowd of librarians together, it's some of the most intelligent people in the world because they just keep learning.
Have to soak up all the ideas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Well, we can get into books and reading on that topic.
Sure.
I was wondering what were some of your favorite all-time genres or titles?
Well, I love mysteries, and I
Oh,
find a lot of
nice.
librarians read mysteries,
Mm-hmm.
and especially historical mysteries
Hmm.
and mysteries set in special places, like Donna Leon's Inspector Brunetti
Oh,
mysteries, which
okay.
are set in Venice. She has a great cast of characters that she builds over her series. I think there
Hmm.
are about 25 in the series now. What I appreciate about those mysteries is there's generally a lot of moral complexity
Mm.
in the mystery itself and then in the end.
Okay.
So that's fantastic. One winter, my husband and I read every single one in the series up to that time in order. And so we spent the entire winter in Venice, which was really
Oh,
great because that
sounds
was a
lovely.
terribly snowy winter. It was the
Yeah.
winter of 2015 where we had a
Oh.
blizzard every other day. I can also recommend the Maisie Dobbs Mysteries
Oh,
by
yep. I've heard of
Jacqueline
those.
Winspear, a strong female character who grows over the years from right after World War One through after World War Two. So I
Okay.
love that.
Yep.
I also enjoy historical fiction,
Hmm.
and two notable titles I've read recently are Ruta Sepetys, I think that's how you pronounce
Oh,
her last
yeah.
name, The Fountains of Silence, which is
Mm.
set in Spain during Franco's rule,
Hmm.
and All We Were Promised by Ashton Lattimore. Her book is set in 1837 Philadelphia. It's the
Okay.
story of Charlotte, who's an escaped slave. Her
Mm.
father is light-skinned enough to pass as white.
Okay.
So they live in Philadelphia, and she masquerades as his servant.
Oh, wow.
He is a very talented carpenter.
Hmm.
So they're doing quite well. She has a friend named Nell, who's a young abolitionist, and Nell is a member of the black elite.
Oh,
There
okay.
was a very wealthy class of black people in Philadelphia at the
Mm.
time. And then Charlotte's friend Evie, they had been enslaved by the same woman. And Evie is in Philadelphia. She's been there long enough so that the law says she should be freed.
Oh,
But her mistress is getting married to someone who lives in Georgia, which is about the
oh,
worst place to be if you were a
yeah.
slave. So Evie needs to escape. So Charlotte and Nell help her to escape and find a better
Wow.
life.
That sounds
I also
fascinating.
love art and art history. So any novel that features art or artists,
Hmm.
I have to read. Tracy Chevalier is
Oh,
one of my
yeah.
favorite authors in this genre. Her most famous book is The Girl with a Pearl Earring, and
Yes.
many people also saw that movie.
Hmm.
I also enjoy reading nonfiction art books to learn more about the artists and their works. One of the best books I've read is about what makes art possible, which are the pigments.
Oh.
And so the title of that book is Colors, The Story of Dyes and Pigments,
Hmm.
and it's by Franz Delamare and Bernard Guineau. The coolest things I learned from that book is that blue was made of lapis lazuli. That's why they say the virgin blue, because blue was generally only used for the clothing of the Virgin Mary. Lapis lazuli paints were more expensive than gold. And so
Wow.
you look at older paintings and there's very little blue.
Mm,
And so when my husband and
wow.
I visit a special exhibit at an art museum, we usually buy the catalog and I walk through the gift shop with my phone and take pictures of other books I want to
Oh,
read.
yes, definitely. Yep, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, and bookstores too. I also read a lot of nonfiction,
Mhm.
history, science, biography, memoir, sociology, technology, nature, animals. If it's a good book that's been
Yeah.
recommended to me, or if I read a good review, I'll read nonfiction on just about any topic. One of the most important nonfiction titles I've read recently is Jonathan Haidt's The Anxious Generation: How the
Oh,
Great
okay.
Rewiring of Childhood Caused an Epidemic of Mental Illness. And Haidt
Hmm.
believes that three things are causing the epidemic of mental illness in our children: their screen-based childhood
Hmm.
with the continuous scrolling on social media, and
Right.
also the completely unrealistic images that young girls see of
Hmm.
women and always
Yeah.
comparing themselves,
Hmm.
which is causing a rise of anorexia, sadly.
Hmm.
He also talks about lack of free play, and
Mm.
free play is really important for children to not only learn social skills, but also to learn how to take risks and
Mm.
do dangerous things like
Sure.
climbing trees.
Yeah.
And also
Okay.
helicopter parenting,
Mm.
where parents are not letting children do the things that they were allowed to do when they were
Hmm.
kids.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if we have it here at the library, but I've definitely seen it on lists and everything.
It's been on
Seems
the New
like,
York Times nonfiction bestseller list for a really long time.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's a reason for that.
I know so many of our students here will do papers or projects about the influence of social media on mental health and
Hmm.
that sort of thing. And now with, AI coming in and bringing totally false images,
Right.
or deep fakes, that's even more of an issue. So,
It is.
yeah. Well, so you're very well read and well rounded in your reading and genres. My next question was, how has your reading taste changed over time?
I used to read mostly fiction, but now I read half and half about fiction and
Okay.
nonfiction. I'm curious about so many things, and I just want to learn so many things. I had
Mm.
a life partner who sadly died when he was quite young. But his goal, he wanted to learn everything about everything, which is
Wow.
impossible in today's world. But he did a very good job, and I think that I caught that bug from him and
Oh.
also from being a librarian.
Yeah, of course.
So,
You get to see all the fun books come in and
yeah.
get curious about them.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
that's the major change
Yeah.
over the course of my life. And also I would have to say that since I became a librarian, I still read a lot of reviews even though I've been out of the
Mm.
field.
Hmm.
So a lot of the books I read are current. In the past, I did read a lot of classics,
Okay.
and I very seldom read the classics now, but they do serve as great background. So you get the allusions in modern books, you
Right.
understand what they're talking about. And also, when I was young, I read a lot in the Bible. So
Hmm.
again, that's very important for
Right.
literary background.
That's sort of that cultural
Mm-hmm.
touchstone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do you get your book reviews?
Well,
Usually here, there, and everywhere.
here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, there are some publications that my local public library gets. One is
Mhm.
called Booklist Reader,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
there's another one that I forget what it's called, but
Mhm.
if I can get my hands on a library journal or a copy of Carcass or Publishers Weekly, I'll read
Yep.
that too. So, course, we subscribe to the New York Times, so there's always that
Sure.
Sunday Times book review, which is important.
They have some great ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. What is a book that you wish you had read earlier in life?
this is a hard one for me to answer because I just told you I don't read many classics. Because I did so in high school and college and as
Mhm.
a young adult. So, a title I'm thinking of is 12 Years a Slave
Oh, yeah.
by Solomon Northrop. And
Hmm.
it was first published in 1853. So,
Mm.
I read that when the movie came out. I was astounded with what great literature it was. He was so educated. It's just a horrific story about someone who was a free person who was just swept up and sent back into slavery.
Mm.
It truly captured the horrors of slavery. We
Hmm.
read a lot of fiction about enslaved people, but this really draws you in. So
Oh.
after reading that book, I decided not to see the movie. There are images that one gets
Yeah.
when one sees a movie or TV that you just can't get out of your head, and I
Hmm.
didn't need to input those images
Hmm.
into my brain. It
That's
was enough
fair.
getting it off the page.
Yeah, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was a powerful experience to read
Mm-hmm.
that. And probably not a lot of those first person accounts or narratives
Mm-hmm.
because of a general lack of education provided.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow. Have there been any books that have sparked memorable conversations within the RISE program here at Riv?
Yes, we have a wonderful facilitator named Michael Conley, who is a James Joyce specialist.
Ooh.
So he did 5 weeks on Portrait of the Artist as a young man.
Hmm.
And the people who went through that, then he felt that they were prepared to read Ulysses.
Oh, wow.
So he taught Ulysses over the course of an entire Rise year, which is 20
Wow.
weeks. So it
Okay.
was a chapter a week. I guess there are 18 chapters. So then there was
Okay.
an introduction and then an ending class, which was a wrap up. So that was really important to Rise people. We
Mm.
also have a former Rivier University professor named Barry Jackson,
Okay.
and he has taught Cervantes' Don Quixote.
Okay.
So
Yep.
he did the first half of the book this past spring, and he's doing the second half in the fall. So I have not read either of those books.
Hmm.
Well, I did read a child's version of Don Quixote, but that's not the same.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's a lot of great literature covered. Carol Iman, who was the programming librarian at the
Yeah.
National
Okay. I was
Library
like, that name rings a
for
bell.
many years, she also does literature
Oh,
courses.
cool.
She did one on Kent Harriff's novels, which are amazing,
Yeah.
and she's doing one in the fall on memoirs. So
Mm.
there's a lot of good literary conversation that happens at Rise.
I bet. Yeah. And to be able to take those classics and break them down into like smaller, manageable chunks and
Exactly.
feel less overwhelming, maybe.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
To have someone kind of guiding you and explaining it. That's very cool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't read either of those. We're on to my last question. What would you say to someone who's fallen out of the habit of reading?
I would say that there's a book for everyone. I forget who said that. And that was one of the first things I heard in library schools.
Mm.
So, my suggestion is think about something you're interested in and find a book about that and read it.
Hmm.
And then perhaps there's a bibliography and you can read more to expand your interest.
Right.
Librarians are really good at reader's advisory. So if you tell a librarian about a book, even if you read it 20 years ago, they can probably help you find another book that you'll enjoy reading. I would also
Yeah.
introduce them to some of the online tools that are available, like Novelist, which
Yep.
is something that I've been using since it came out in the 90s.
That is
That
great.
yeah, that helps people. And then there are some free ones online like Fantastic Fiction and other sites. So I would just encourage people to get back to reading. Even if you only read for 20 minutes a day, it's still going to expand your mind.
Yeah, it can be so enriching. And most public libraries, I feel like, have access to novelists for their patrons. Yeah.
We
Oh,
do.
very cool. Well, this has been awesome. All
I'm really
right.
grateful to have had this opportunity, Katie. I think it's a great thing that you do this podcast for Riv readers. And I have to tell you one thing. I grew up about a mile and a quarter from here, and I started using Regina Library when I was in high school because
Oh.
I was very interested in literature. The
Hmm.
Nashville Library had an okay collection,
Hmm.
but because back in the 70s, Rivier was very focused on
Yeah.
teaching literature,
Hmm.
your collection here was amazing. And my English teacher in high school was always amazed. How did you find those sources? So I tell them, send kids here. You can come in, you can sit, you can read a book. You can't take it home with you, but who cares? Just
Hmm.
take notes. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I've seen the university grow over the years. It's just amazing. I love this university. It's very close to my heart.
Hmm.
I've only taken one class here.
Hmm.
It was in Pascal programming back in the 80s when I started
Wow.
working in high tech. A lot of my friends got their masters in computer science here.
Hmm. Oh, very
It's
cool.
it's a great university.
It is. Yeah. It's great to hear that historical perspective too.
Mm.
Um, oh, very cool. Thank you so much again
Oh,
for joining us.
thank you. It's been a real pleasure.
If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are at Regina Library on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. You can always reach us through our website as well, rivier.edu/library. It's been great having you here, and we'll see you again soon.